remember that this happened when I was a teenager. My family likes to move around a lot and it was tough on me. I had to transfer from school to school and making new friends during high school was tough, nonetheless. This was our 5th house that we moved into, and I was a sophomore in high school. At first, nothing really happened. Noises here and there, but really nothing too severe for us to move out of the house. It was 2 o'clock in the morning when I heard a bang near my window. I thought of it as the branches of a tree outside my window being blown against it. But the next night, I heard something from downstairs in the kitchen. Pots and pans were hitting each other as if someone were playing with them. This woke up my parents and my younger sister, and we all went down together to investigate. We found out that all of the pots and pans were on the floor and the cupboards were all open. This never happened ever again, and we never thought of it. We slowly forgot about it. However, one night, I awoke to hearing what sounded like 2 little girls singing downstairs, again in our kitchen. I got up to check if my sister was still in her bed or if she was the one making the noise. I went into my parents' room to tell them to check it out, but their door was closed and locked. As I faced the staircase, I heard a voice.
Go back to sleep.
I freaked the fuck out and ran back in my room. I hid under the covers until I fell asleep. The next morning, I woke up with a scar on my upper thigh. My mom noticed it and asked me where I got it from. Honestly, I didn't know what to tell her, so I changed the topic and told her that I heard some noises from downstairs. She told me that I was hysterical because I was stressed from the new high school. I knew my mom wouldn't understand me if I simply told her that something unusual gave me the mark. To be completely honest, I didn't even know where it came from. I just knew it hurt from time to time. The next night, my parents took my sister to check the doctors because she had a strange illness and flu that stuck to her since we got here. At that point, I knew it might have something to do with the scar that was on my body. I stayed home to protect the house from any intruders. It was good for me because that meant I could play any video games I wanted. However, I somehow started watching videos about demons, exorcisms, and poltergeists. In the middle of the video, all my electricity went out. I was scared now. I was all alone at home. Out of nowhere, banging came from my sister's room and pots and pans started hitting each other. I closed and locked my door and put my headphones on to listen to music. At first, my phone battery was at 99%, but it suddenly dropped like crazy. Not even 5 minutes passed when my phone completely died. It might have been the temperature of my room because it felt ice cold, but this has never happened before. I took off my noise-canceling headphones and heard a blood-curdling scream of a lady in agony. She kept yelling at the top of her lungs.
Get out.
I heard dishes being thrown aggressively against the door and glass shattering constantly. At this point, I knew this house was filled with evil spirits and I couldn't do a thing except cover my head and sob. I had to wait until my parents got back. I jumped into bed and covered my head with my blankets. I lied there, not knowing what to do. Suddenly, all of my blankets flew off of my bed and I saw her. A demon floating above my bed with devilish eyes, dressed in all black. She looked at me with blood dripping down her mouth. She whispered,
Leave before it's too late.
I woke up beside my mom. She sat beside me on my bed, looking all concerned. She asked me what happened to my arm, and as I looked towards my arm, I saw a terrible gash, as if someone tore up my arm. It was broken. I looked at my mother and told her everything. She told us that ever since we moved, she had nightmares about a witch imprisoning children. Furthermore, the doctor told my mom that my sister had a regular cold, but my mom knew it was something out of this world, something paranormal. The next few weeks we moved to our aunt's place until we could get rid of this house.